Hey folks, generally speaking, I consider myself a creative, but primarily my skills lie in the field of writing. From the very beginning of my working life, I earned my living through my ability to accurately and concisely convey thoughts and events through the medium of written language. Therefore, story structure and accuracy mean a great deal to me, which is why I started to think about the character of Sherlock Holmes. Because you see, in most modern adaptations of Holmes and his stories, and even in characters which take some inspiration from the character of Sherlock Holmes, he is portrayed as cynical, arrogant, and misanthropic, with the idea of him being smarter than everyone else used as a justification for his mistreatment of others. However, if you go back through the original stories, I, for example, happen to have the entire Sherlock Holmes collection narrated in audio format by Stephen Fry. What you'll find is that although Sherlock Holmes is indeed portrayed as a genius, and he sometimes becomes impatient with the people around him during investigations, he is never outright rude or unkind. In fact, the original Sherlock Holmes is portrayed as having a very strong and intuitive sense of right and wrong. Sherlock Holmes, above all, understands what the meaning of moral justice is, and that is why he sometimes acts outside of the bounds of the law in order to achieve a higher aim. I think that a lot of modern writers conflate this idea that one can act outside of the law with being cynical and acting as though you are above it all, which is not what I believe the spirit of Sherlock Holmes was intended to be. I think that when we see these kinds of cynical adaptations, it is a mark of the age in which we live, in which people think that cynicism is the same as wisdom, and that by not caring about anything, and specifically not caring about the well-being or emotional comfort of other people to a reasonable degree, that somehow means you are wise and that you understand the world. But if the original character of Sherlock Holmes proves anything in those stories, it's that you can have incredible intellect and skills and still be a generally kind and decent person. This is a little bit different from my usual content and a little bit less serious, so I hope that you've enjoyed it. Look after yourselves, take care of one another, and for now, farewell.